What's up, everybody? Welcome back to By the Book Bonus Bets. My name is Nejad. This is McDonald. And Meg, last time out, we talked about the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold O'Connell, and we tried to judge whether that team was properly rated, overrated, or underrated. Let's shift over to the AFC. What team are we going to talk about today?
The Los Angeles Chargers, my friend.
The Los Angeles Chargers, who are 10-6, about to face the Raiders here. Let's look at their odds to win the Super Bowl before we make our determination, Meg. Odds are very interesting to win the Super Bowl and to win the AFC. Now, the Super Bowl odds are not super surprising here. They're last on this list of 10 at plus 4,000. Now, let's fast forward to the AFC championship odds. I think it gets a little bit more interesting there because I don't think anybody thinks the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. Maybe the AFC a little bit more viable for them. Fourth on the list, ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers, ahead of the Texans and the Broncos. Now
but look at the jump.
That's the thing. Okay, so thank you. So let's start right there. Look at the jump. When we look at the Los Angeles Chargers, overrated, underrated, or properly rated, before you give the official answer, talk to me about where you think this team stacks up in the AFC.
Well, it's tough when you go against the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens, and we can talk about Kansas City all we want, that maybe they are overrated, but they keep winning football games, so their record speaks for itself, and they'll probably go back to back to back Super Bowl champions for the third straight year, which we hate to see, but that might be the reality. Okay, back to the Los Angeles Chargers, though. I really want to bring up their schedule because 10-6 is awesome, right? First year that Jim Harbaugh has returned back to the National Football League, but look at the schedule, right? So, their schedule was not difficult by any means. They beat the teams they were supposed to beat, and they lost to the teams they were probably supposed to lose to. So, when you have a preseason win total set at 8.5, juiced towards the over, you do have to put some context to it because their schedule was so easy. So, they beat Vegas and Carolina. They lost to Pittsburgh and Kansas City. It all makes sense for that, Sia. I think they're properly rated. I think this was a great season that Jim Harbaugh had with this team that I'm not entirely sure the Chargers have the best talent, especially on offense. When you look at it, Justin Herbert is a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but look at his wide receivers. They're fine. They're good, not great. So you finding a way to get double-digit wins, albeit an easy schedule, I'm going to say you're properly rated.
And they might get that 11th win against the Raiders this week. So I get the properly rated part. I mean, again, you're beating the teams that are the bottom feeders in the league. But to your point, this team doesn't have a lot of talent. I mean, if your second receiver is Quentin Johnston and you got running backs in a running game that I know the J.K. Dobbins story is great, but it's not a good running game. This is not a very efficient running game. Justin Herbert kind of having to do it all. This defense having to do it all. Harbaugh kind of having to do it all. Here's what I'll say, though. If we go back to the AFC future odds, when we look at the plus 1,600 number, it's a big number. These are numbers that we like to take. I got to say overrated because there is no way I'm laying any money on any of these teams past Kansas City, Buffalo, and the Baltimore Ravens. And if I were to consider one, it's not the Chargers. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 2,500. The Texans definitely out. The Broncos, it's a nice story. I put them out too. But honestly, if I'm looking at a 30-1 on Denver or a 16-1 on the Chargers, I know the Chargers beat Denver twice this year. I'd actually take the 30-1. So I'm going to say they're overrated just simply because there's no way great season. First year with Harbaugh and the Chargers, it's great. There's no way, even at 1,600, it's an appealing number. I'm not doing it.
I guess it is an appealing number, but it's tough to go against those top three teams. Look, the AFC is good for a reason, and that doesn't even include the Bengals, who are having a down year because their defense stinks.
Right.
So you had the Bengals when they're actually playing good football on defense. Don't get me wrong. Their offense is incredible, and Joe Burrow is having an amazing year. You put them where the Chargers are supposed to be, and it's a whole different story in the AFC as well.
100%. I mean, just look at the teams ahead of them. Look at who they lost to. I mean, this is one of those properly rated. I get it. I'm going to say overrated. Nice season, but there's no chance they're winning consecutive games against teams like the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs. Do not lay that number on the plus 1,600. All right. We talked about the Vikings. We talked about the Chargers. A lot more Super Bowl, AFC, and NFC futures coming up on By the Book Bonus Bets. And of course, you can catch By the Book every single Monday through Friday at 5:30. That's Meg McDonald. My name is Nejad. We'll see you next time.